Hey guys, it's David from Horror Night Updates here with part of our team, Brian.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Today we're going to be discussing a quick discussion of the most recent events that have transpired for Horror Night. So this is the most recent news, excluding anything from like Trick or Treat and Stranger Things. Sorry. So this, so this is everything after that. So I guess the big one is to start off with the scare zones. Now, bear in mind, a lot of this information is going to be pertaining mainly to the Orlando park and not the Hollywood park. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of news to go on. John has stated that we will be getting another reveal coming shortly in July. So hopefully, we'll get some more speed on some of the information that comes from Hollywood. But for the time being, we will be talking about Orlando, which Brian is more of an expert at than I am, as I am primarily a Hollywood player. So
Well, yeah, I dabble. I dabble, and I partake in
yeah, the
in
Orlando.
the event. Yes.
So let's start with the scare zones. So we just got the full list of scare zones, including two surprise ones. So we've got the Harvest to start off with. This one sounds very interesting. I'm kind of intrigued about this one. It is taking some. I feel anyway, it's taking a few elements from the past scare zones and kind of bringing them forward into the 20 into 2018 with kind of similar themes but something new. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I think the same thing. That the zone is gonna, especially with that whole setup with kind of blend in the past, like you said, because we've seen a lot of those different elements before at the event. A lot of the kind of the you could work in kind of some themes or some callbacks, kind of get a good reflection of things for the year.
Yeah, I mean, I like I'm a sucker for pumpkin motifs. When they revealed that, I was like, "Oh, more pumpkins! Yes, we've got Trick or Treat, and we've got this." I'm all for this. I'm quite interested to see what they do with it. Um, but this is just one of many scare zones, so I'm hoping it does really well because this is kind of like something I really enjoy. This kind of Halloween pumpkin motif,
Oh,
and
definitely, and Hollywood, Orlando has always been good at doing the kind of pumpkin themes with things, especially last year when we had Trick or Treat. You know, we had all those pumpkins that everybody they handed out and everybody carved. I guess on their days off, they carved their own pumpkins. They brought them back and they stuck them in Central Park. And so I mean, we're really crafty when it comes to pumpkins. So just they just add a new element, kind of a new spin on stuff that we've already seen before, or in a new way.
I'm interested to see that, and we've also got Twisted Tradition, which is a very interesting one. This is again, this is kind of going back to that. There seems to be quite a bit of a return to what Halloween is. I mean, Horror Nights does a lot of cool stuff that they do for the different scare zones every year, but it's not many times do they really kind of utilize the whole Halloween theme. Weirdly enough, Halloween Horror Nights doesn't use Halloween quite as often as say places like Not Scary Farm here in California. So it's kind of interesting to see this kind of theme come back, and especially with Trick or Treat being a maze as well. What do you think of the Harvest scare zone, Brian? Oh, Brian, Brian, did we lose you, Brian? I think we lost Brian. Brian, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Brian. I think we're having some technical difficulties here. Brian, Brian, you here? Brian? Well, it seems we've lost Brian for the time. Technical difficulties. Jeez. Just bear with us once we get him back. Hold on a sec, guys. It seems we're having some technical issues. Sorry about this, guys. This is unforeseen technical difficulties coming in from from the team. But Brian will be back fairly soon, hopefully. And let's see. So I guess I'll keep us going. So for Scare Zones, we were just talking about the Harvest, which is a very interesting Scare Zone that they've revealed, and I can't wait to see what they do for it. It kind of goes along with a lot of this Halloween motif that's going by, but yeah, I'm really excited for it. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming so far. So with the tradition, travel through the forest of Central Park, where an ancient evil has been awakened. Halloween has been transformed into an abomination with rotting pumpkins fused with decaying human flesh. Try and escape the grasp of these fetid beings with nothing but the light of a rotting jack-o'-lanterns to guide you. So this is really, really cool. I'm really excited. There is a lot of pumpkin motifs going on this year, and I think it's really exciting. But yeah, I can't wait to see where they go with this. One second, guys. I'm gonna see if I can get Brian back up here into this thing. Very sorry about the wait, guys. This is unforeseen. He just disappeared. But yeah, so there's going to be more going on. We've got also Vamp 85, which is a really cool return to the original Vamp 55. Which the summary for it is: before the countdown to midnight started, it's clear the party has already been crashed and the streets are running red with blood. You go into what looks to be a typical New Year's bash until it's too late. As the ball drops, Fang punks and big head vamps will start their feeding frenzy. So this is a very interesting one. A lot of people are going to be excited. This is something a lot of people have wanted to see a follow up to, and I think there's a lot, from what I could read on the forums. There's a lot of excitement for this one in particular because Vamp 55 was very popular with a lot of people. And I personally am really excited to see what the videos are going to be like for it, to see what they end up showing. I'm curious to see how the New Year's Eve thing, the theme kind of fends in with the vampires. This is going to be a fun one to have a look and see what they do with it. We currently have Chucky as well as the Scare Zone this year. It's good. There's not a lot of information on this one so far. However, it's something that's kind of divided a lot of people. Some people are really excited for it. Some people are like, it's another Chucky thing. I'm kind of on the latter, to be honest. Chucky's never been a key icon that I really enjoy. Horror icon, that is, not Horror Nights icon. On the flip side of that, we have the total opposite reaction. Oh, there he is. Hold on. Is that you?
That's me. I'm sorry. I don't know what
Brian, so long.
I know I did. Like, I don't know if you heard me or not, but like, well, I'm sure people in the audience maybe have heard, but like my the thunderstorm was rolling in, and the thunderstorm came, and like it didn't wipe out anything, but like the flash came, and then all of a sudden like the screen, it didn't really like turn off or anything, but like everything still seemed fine, but I had still had to like refresh my router and everything and get everything working again. So yeah, it wasn't me. The thunderstorm decided, no, we're gonna cut this short. You don't need to talk about any Halloween Horror Nights. Like we're just gonna cut everything off early. But yeah, no, I'm okay now. Everything seems to be running. But nature decided otherwise as far as me continuing the conversation there. So
that was the most awkward thing because I had to do a live cast like by myself, and I'm just like thinking, oh crap,
that's what I thought. I'm like, out of all the times, like a two man podcast, and like one guy like gets taken out. It's like, oh man, he's doing some major dancing. This is all time.
Emperor, hey Emperor, welcome back.
Hey Emperor, glad we could both be here.
Maybe he was kidnapped by the Ghost from the Unfriended sequel.
Oh, probably they sucked me in. It's like, oh, social media.
I'll be honest, I kind of would have thought that because it was just like you just up and disappeared, and it makes sense now that the
yeah, right here, the typical 4 o'clock thunderstorms. Yep, you can predict them on the dollar here. It's like, oh, there's thunderstorms for the afternoon. So, but yeah, they just decided we're going to cut that conversation short there. So,
ladies and gentlemen, lightning is not your best friend when you're trying to do a podcast.
No, always when you try to actually do like recording, it's like the Aladdin thing where it's like never fails. You get in the bath and rub with the lamp. It's kind of like that, but like with thunder in Florida and podcasting.
Well, I will definitely say that is very interesting. That is definitely made this podcast more interesting. That lightning is now trying to take out my co-star here.
That's right. I'm not even at Horror Nights yet, and it's already coming for me. That's how scary it's going to be this year, guys. That's how scary Florida's going to be. You come to Orlando, you're just going to get attacked by lightning instead of scare actors.
So, what we were talking about, guys, is the scare zones. And before we lost Brian to the lightning god himself, we were talking about. We finished off on the harvest, and we were talking about Twisted Tradition. And I know I read out to the audience about what kind of the premise is behind it. I'll redo it again just because we now have you back, Brian.
Yes, yeah, get me up to speed here, please.
So the premise is travel through the forest of Central Park. So we know it's going to be set in Central Park, where an ancient evil has been awakened. Halloween has been transformed into an abomination with rotting pumpkins fused with decaying flesh. Again, more pumpkins. Try and escape the grasp of these fetid beings with nothing but the light from your rotting jack-o'-lanterns to guide you. So this one is very interesting. I'm very excited for this one. Again, more pumpkins is cool. I like the fact that they're fused with decaying flesh. That's kind of a really morbid, cool idea. What do you think, Ryan? I've already given my thoughts on this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Have we just lost? Oh, hold on, Brian. Brian, can you hear me? I think. Oh no, not again, lightning. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you don't do when you're trying to do a podcast and there's lightning and I cannot hear my code. There we go.
Yeah.
You're back.
Oh, did you lose me again? Did I get loose?
Your voice just disappeared and it was really weird. Like I could see you were talking and it was like,
oh gosh.
I never do a podcast when there is lightning around because clearly it is not working. So we'll try and wrap this up.
There you go. Well, we'll try. Let me keep going. At least try it for a second here. Maybe something will work out. But yeah, to kind of sum up, pumpkins. I'm really excited for this year because we do a lot of different varieties of it. So it's gonna be cool to see this kind of new spin on it for the Scare Zone.
Yeah, I agree. The follow-up to that is very exciting because a lot of people are very hyped for this because it's one of the most popular scare zones of the past, and that is, of course, we have Vamp 85.
Yes.
What do you think, Brian? Brian, you got to experience Vamp 55, didn't you?
I did. I enjoyed it. It was an interesting spin on things. I actually went with a friend of mine who was actually in like a high school band, so I think he got a kick out of it like more than I did because he was like, oh yeah, okay, we're just gonna give him like drums and stuff and have him scare people with those. So, but I really liked the idea, the concept of it. So it's interesting to see them take the next level, like the next step with it. Say, okay, well now we're gonna bring a new kind of spin on it. We're gonna bring it down the road, maybe make it its own kind of like vampire mythology. Like maybe we'll add on more to this throughout the maybe next year or in the next couple of years we'll get another kind of vamp zone. to kind of tie everything together. But no, I'm really excited about the whole aspect of Vamp 85, and like I said, I really enjoyed 55. So to see it kind of move on to the next thing is really cool, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And we've got two more. I'm not going to include was it Academy of Villains, simply because we knew it was coming back, and it's more of a dance show than a actual scare zone. So I won't be including that in this discussion. However, we do have two IP-based ones, and that is, of course, we have Chucky and Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which may disappoint a few people because people wanted it as a maze, and now it's a scare zone. So maybe it'll get the trick-or-treat kind of feature where it starts as a scare zone and then get a maze. What do you think, Brian?
Oh shoot! Did I lose you this time? Oh no!
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, yeah. I can.
Brian's going in and out. I've lost Brian. This is not going well today. So, Brian, can you hear me? Brian? I think we lost him again.
Oh no! Can you hear me now? How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Now. Oh my gosh, okay. We're gonna have to stop soon, I think, because like the audience is probably like, "What the hell is going on?"
I know, right? Like just in and out, in and out. Like, yeah, you were saying that some people are gonna be disappointed that it isn't a house this year, or you know that we didn't have one.
Yes, for Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I know a lot of people have been asking it as a house, and to get it as a scare zone may disappoint a few fans. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I kind of I could see where they're coming from. I'm kind of on the fence. Like I really I kind of talked about it more in the video I put out for the scare zone, but I really I've only seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space like once, and it was like as a little small kid. And so it kind of freaked me out as a kid. So to watch it like as an adult now again, I actually really enjoyed the film. So I can see where a lot of people are coming from, but I really think it would work well as a scare zone for, you know, something, you know, to put out there to kind of tie everything together. To me, it's my most anticipated scare zone of the year out of all the ones that I've seen. So.
This year, and quite interesting concepts. But no, I'm very curious to see the videos that will come out of this in regards to this IP.
Oh yeah, you can definitely count on me. I'm gonna definitely be in the zone as much as I can to really like take in everything. I want to get like, you know, just take it all in, because you know a lot of times people seem to skip past the scare zones and kind of just rush towards the houses, and like this is definitely one that I do not want to like pass up, and then you get to like, you know, mid-October and you're like, man, I haven't spent any time in here. You know what I mean? Because that's happened like at least a couple times with the few zones. You feel like it's over, and you're like, man, I wish I had gotten more of it throughout the event.
I agree. I think a lot of people, because the houses are the biggest part of Horror Nights, this is they tend to just kind of rush through the scare zones, not even think twice. And it's one of those great opportunities where, unlike a house where you kind of push through, you have to get through the house. Mm-hmm. With the scare zones, the beautiful thing about it is you get to kind of sit and observe and see all the details that the team has put into them. And I think that's going to be really exciting to see a lot of these come to life. I can't wait to see the videos. Can't wait to see your footage of this year. But also, in regards to that, Chucky is getting a scare zone now. Again, what I was saying earlier was this is going to split a number of fans. Some people are really excited to see Chucky again. Some people are very disappointed. I'm probably more the latter. I'm kind of, at this point, I'm kind of sick of Chucky at the event, but that's just my cup of tea on that.
Well, I can imagine, especially for you guys in Hollywood, because you know, you had the like the Chucky, the tram tour a couple of years back. You kind of had like a whole barrage of Chucky there for a
yeah. Yeah, I agree. We had him last year, and for the Terror Tram back in 2017, it was part of the Titans of Terror Terror Tram, and I mean, he didn't really
think it'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to hope that it's going to be a good scare zone, but at this point, I'm just kind of done with Chucky, I think. But who knows? It could be really good.
I'm excited for that that whole toy aspect. I think that's what's going to be really exciting as far as like a new spin on it, especially here in Orlando, because we've had Chucky, in 2015, I think was the last time we had anything Chucky related. It was like in 2015, and it was just two characters in a bigger scare zone. So it wasn't even like a Chucky, zone. It was kind of just them as part of a zone. So I think we can stand to have a little bit more Chucky. I'm excited to see I want to see the new toy aspect. That's what I'm more excited for than anything, is to see a new spin on like, what does Chucky bring to Halloween Horror Nights with him?
Exactly. So. And just to answer a question from to read a comment.
Of course.
My opinion of the Chucky zone depends on whether or not they try to do a mini insult emporium. I agree. I think they should bring it back.
Definitely.
I don't think they will, just because so many people get offended by it. I think it's a great idea. I think they should bring it back. I think it's the only way to bring Chucky back and be entertaining without the whole stereotypical, like, oh, man-sized toys or stuff. But I mean, that's personal opinion. But I agree, Emperor. I think they should do it as the mini insult emporium, because
definitely. Or at least have Chucky like doing the insults, in an area of the maze. So like, have him off on a pedestal or something doing the insults, and then like have the toys doing the scaring. I think that would be a cool way to do it.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how they do it. I'm not gonna hold my breath because I've done it so many times and it's never really lived up to kind of a standard of scare or entertainment value for me. But that's just me. That's just my opinion on that. And lastly, we have a maze reveal. We got another maze reveal for Orlando. Damn, Orlando, you are just rolling out these announcements. And here in Hollywood, we're just thinking like, where's the beef? Where's our stuff?
just give us anything. We'll take anything at this point. Tell us the Jabberwockies are coming back.
I will happily take a Terror Tram announcement. Please, John, just give us something, because at this point, I'm kind of starved on information, and I'm having to report on a lot of Orlando stuff, and it's just like, come on, John, just reveal the next maze, because I need something to talk about. Mm-hmm. But for you guys, you got a very interesting maze announcement, and that is the hold on a sec, brain's like oh god damn it, sorry, Slaughter Cinema.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure. Like, did we announce something else? Like you said, they're announcing so much that it's kind of hard to tell what's what. So it's like,
exactly. My notes are just going here, there, and everywhere right now. But Slaughter Cinema, and that's such a cool concept. And when I read it, I was really excited. The fact that it takes B-movie monsters and stuff like that and combines it into a house. I love that idea. I love the marketing for it, and I love the fact that if you look closely, a lot of them are directed by Jack Schmidt.
Yes. Oh yeah.
It's really funny to me. For those not so aficionado, it's Jack the Clown. I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
Oh, definitely. Me too. This is something I love it, because this is kind of, it's not really you would consider an icon house, but it's like something that I kind of think of it as one for the event this year, because, it's really clearly going to be like a big 80s kind of reference and homage and an event. So, to me, this kind of like signifies like one of like the big standout houses of like the 80s, so it's like, the B-flicks, because that's what it is. That's like with the Killer Clowns from Outer Space, that's a cult classic, and then the B-flicks and all that kind of stuff. So to me, having like a B-flick house, especially an original one, is something that I really think is hopefully going to be really good as far as the variety that we've got this year with the mazes.
Exactly. I think it's going to be nice to see a lot of the original ones and see what concepts they come up with. On a side note, I do have some kind of weird Hollywood news. Well, I've got Twitter open right now, and John's talking to himself again.
Oh my goodness, we need to talk. John, talk to us. We're your friends. Talk to us. Come on.
John's got this thing going on Twitter. For those who don't know, he runs the Horror Nights Twitter page, obviously, and he's also got his very own Twitter page, if that makes sense. He's got John Murdy, and then you've got Horror Nights, and he keeps talking to himself, and it is the most entertaining weird thing. But like, It's so bizarre reading it. I don't even update it for the page, even though it's kind of, I guess, kind of information and kind of, well, it's not really, but it's just him talking to himself, and it's really entertaining. If you ever get a chance, check it out. It's pretty funny. But like, he's just posted, "Here's Jackie," and he's responded with Horror Nights saying, What is that? I'm auditioning. It's a famous line from The Shining." And then Horror Nights corrects him by saying, "It's Johnny," and he says, "Oh, sorry, did I get the job?" And he just replied, "No." So it's things like that. It's so bizarre. I just don't even.
I imagine like John having like kind of like him is in the secret window, like, you know, he's like writing his things, talking to himself, and feeling out like these scenarios in his head of like, what if this happens? You know, that's what I just imagined him doing.
I think John slowly lost his mind in regards. It's just it's just like, it's bizarre, but yeah, that pretty much wraps up our information. Like, we'll do a proper one of these once more information comes up. We'll do a full-on podcast. Hopefully we can get Neil in on this. But so sorry about the delay, guys.
Yeah, all the various delays that have been going on. We apologize for, you know, making you guys wait along for this little update. But yeah, like Dave said, we're gonna have like tons of stuff down the road. So hopefully we have a bigger, like a better chance to give a big presentation for you guys.
We will be doing another podcast, a proper podcast. This has just been a bit of a quick discussion video down the line. We're hoping to get some guests from the community to join the chat. And I really hope you guys look forward to that. I'm going to be organizing it very soon. And I will be posting all the news on our official Facebook page, Horror Nights Updaters on Facebook. So just if you haven't joined that page, feel free to join it. And a lot of the news and that we will post on there. That is the primary dumping site for a lot of our news. So if you guys want to go there and check that out, feel free. So we'll be posting the podcast details and time eventually on there once we can get that organized. So I hope you guys have. And again, we're really sorry that Mother Nature.
Yes, there's nothing you can do about technical difficulties like this, but we're really sorry, and we're going to try my best. I'm going to go outside now and talk to him. Maybe next time when we do this again, I can explain and say, hey, look, this is my time to talk about Horror Nights. Like, can you come back later? You know, I know you're around a lot, but, you know, can we schedule for another time next time? We promise.
So we'll be setting up another one. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you for commenting. Thank you, Sephiroth, for being always there.
Yes, thank you for sticking around and being loyal. You know, he always seems to come around. He's like, oh, is it Horror Nights time? I'm coming out of the woodworks. So we appreciate it.
Barrel that used to be like my top followers on my YouTube channel.
We're just always here. It's like, oh, is it Horror Nights time? You know, the signal comes in the sky. We just see it. It's just Horror Nights.
You're just so like, we're here. Phantom of the Opera, and this is the Paris Opera House, and you're always there. You're just in the catacombs. Just like...
That's right. Exactly. Just always waiting for our time.
He's like, he just posted, I'm always here. Yes.
Always waiting, always looking. Yep.
You are my favorite. Emperor, I love you, mate. So yeah, thank you for joining us, Emperor. Thank you for everyone that joined us today, and we will see you guys in the next proper podcast that will be coming up soon. So thank you guys. Have a great night.